What? Why? Bad. Absolutely hated it. Made me suffer. Hi, my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to talk about why I hated Ninth House. So I read this book and I was so excited about it. It was one of my most anticipated reads of the year it came out, 2019, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I'm not even going to describe it to you. Look it up on Goodreads. It's about a girl named Alex. I'm just going to jump right in and talk about everything that I hated about it because I don't feel like describing this book to you because I feel like this book doesn't even know what it wants to be. First of all, the pacing of this book is awful. It's horrible. The dual timelines served absolutely no purpose. It takes way too long for us to catch up to the prologue, and it detracted from the story. It did nothing. It did no service to the book because it just takes too dang long. There's not enough dialogue to like make me excited about the interactions. I mean, dual timelines can be done so well. Furyborn is my favorite book, and that's a dual timeline book. But here it just did not work. It was so bad. I think it wanted to make points about the intersect of race and privilege and class, and then it never made any. Like, it was like, you know how the rich keep the poor subjugated? Well, here they do that with magic. Okay? And what's hilarious is if it were trying to make a point about that, then why is everyone's favorite character Darlington? The dude who benefits from all of those things is your favorite? Why? This book was so mediocre and everybody's favorite character is a mediocre white man? What? Speaking of the characters, the fact that there's not a single likable or redeeming character in this book made me suffer. I don't care about Alex or Darlington. Tell me one thing her roommates did other than one was sexually assaulted. Can you name anything else that happened to them? I can't. I can't remember a single likable trait in literally anybody. They're just like caricatures. They're not characters. They just served to, I don't know, be some sort of, I don't know why they were there. The only one I liked was the cop, and I hate saying that. What was her name? The Dante of Leith? What was her name? I can't even remember it. She's forgettable. I don't remember a single thing she did. I struggle with Alex as a character. I don't understand any of her motivations. Like, everything was just pulling her along. That's it. Like, what was the point? And the lack of dialogue is what made the character interactions and therefore the characters themselves suffer. The descriptions. Why was there so much descriptions? Did you need to explain to me what every brick at Yale looks like? Because I promise you I don't care. This is written by the same woman who wrote Six of Crows, so I know she can write dialogue. I know she can. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom are 5-star books for me. Maybe on dialogue alone. Where was the dialogue in Ninth House? I mean, the fact that there was so much words in the first 20% and yet there was so little actual conversation, it did nothing for the book. It made me so bored. It was so boring. I don't care what Yale looks like. I've been there. I don't care. And it made the book so pretentious. Like, she made a reference to an artist and I was like, how many of your readers are gonna know who this artist is? This is so pretentious. Does Alex know who that artist is? Does she? I doubt it. None of the descriptions were helpful to me in learning about anything about the world, which I barely know anything about. How was there so much description of Yale itself, yet so little description of all of these different houses, of the 9 houses? Like, I don't even remember any of their names because we spent so much time in the book hearing descriptions of Yale. Why? Like, it's so overwritten and yet lacks so much detail in what actually matters. And this is a fault of the writing, not of my understanding. Listen, Alex's sexual assault, let's talk about this just real quick. I feel like this was, I really was so uncomfortable with it. I just found it written for shock value more than anything else. And I know a lot of people disagree with me, and that's fine, but that is how it read to me. And if this book were about trauma and how people handle trauma, okay, I could accept that, but I don't see it as that because we didn't go along with Alex on that journey. And then the way that she handled her roommate's sexual assault spoke to the fact that this book was not about an exercise in understanding trauma. Her roommate, Mercy, her sexual assault was the worst thing in the book because Alex turned around and made Mercy's sexual assault about her, about Alex. And then she tells Mercy that what she did to get revenge, and Mercy's suddenly eating again. And then you never hear from her after that? Ridiculous. The Dean being the villain was so anticlimactic. Alex, like several chapters before, was like, he could be the villain, and then he ends up being the villain. I was like, oh, so okay. Okay. And then at the end, the ultimate villain was a woman, which was a weird choice, especially if this book was trying to make a conversation on the intersect of gender and class and privilege. And her ridiculous villain monologue made me cringe. Again, if the book was about how those things intersect, race and gender and class and privilege, then why was the woman who was nice to Alex the ultimate villain? Like, what? That was a clear sign to me that this book was not intended to make any points on any of that. Okay, that's it. My kid's crying, so I gotta go. Yeah, so that's why I hated Ninth House. I thought it sucked, and I'm definitely not going to continue the series. Not for me. I understand why other people like it. It's really not for me. Leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.